G'day all and welcome to another Weekly Stewards Wrap video. My name's Cody Winnell and I'm joined as always, well for the second time anyway, by Chairman of Stewards at Harness Racing Victoria, Nick Murray. G'day Nick.
G'day Cody, thanks for having me.
No, it's been a big week in the Stewards room. There's been plenty of racing incidents and we want to try and deliver as much information as we can to the Trots fans and the punters via this forum. So let's get straight into it. Bendigo on Saturday night, Nick. You had a race 8, Try and Catch Me was first past the post but was relegated to second, and 10 Note Dance became the winner, and I believe it was because Try and Catch Me straight into the sprint lane. So let's call it up on the video replay here and have a look, and if you could talk us through it.
Yeah, correct Cody. Race 8 at Bendigo on Saturday night. Try and Catch Me, which was first past the post, leads into the home straight, Mr David Murphy's drive, and gradually near the 100 metres shifts down into the sprint lane. And you can see over the final stages near the winning post that horse is along the pig line and in a position where he's not entitled to be into the sprint lane. The relevant rule in this instance is 167 part 2, requires a driver to take immediate action if a horse that leads into the home straight shifts into the sprint lane. That didn't occur on this occasion.
A couple of questions, Nick, that have come through from the punters on social media was why was Try and Catch Me relegated to second and not disqualified? Firstly, that question.
Yeah, certainly Rule 167 Part 3 gives the stewards the discretion to alter the placings or disqualify the horse. In this instance, the stewards took the option to alter the placings given the nose margin, and felt that that was the most appropriate course of action in this instance.
As you say, it was very tight on the line, a nose in it, and it was also brought up that in 2011 the Trotters Derby saw a similar incident where the Bohemian won. He actually held on to that race. There was a protest, second against first, but the margin on that occasion was 4.2 or 5 metres, I guess, as opposed to a nose. Was that what made the difference?
Yeah, obviously that's one factor that we have to take into account when assessing these sort of matters. Obviously the margin in this case was a nose. The matter you referred to back at Maryborough in 2011 was a more significant margin. So obviously that's a relevant factor when assessing these sort of instances. Sure,
well that sums up the Bendigo incident. Moving on now to Melton, Tabcorp Park. And on Sunday we saw a protest in race 1. It was fourth against first, interference at the first corner. The favourite got knocked over, the punters weren't happy and the driver got suspended, Nick.
Yeah, so this incident racing into the first turn immediately after the start. Mad Eye's Revenge, driven by Mr Petrov, which is the horse on the marker pig line, actually gallops Mr Joe Pace, driver Ramirez, to his outside. Allows that horse to shift in when not clear of Mad Eye's Revenge, causing that horse to be tightened, contact marker pegs and ultimately gallop. The horse, Mad Eye's Revenge, actually lost approximately 20 metres out of that incident. The subsequent margin between the two horses at the end of the race was approximately 6 metres. Mad Eye's Revenge ultimately fourth. Across the line, its driver Rodney Petrov lodged a protest against the eventual winner Ramirez, and stewards considered that but for that occurrence, that all other things being equal, that Mad Eye's Revenge would have beaten Ramirez, and therefore that protest was upheld, meaning that there was an alteration to the placings. Ramirez was placed back into fourth position, with Mad Eye's Revenge third, and ultimately Spunkyola, which was second past the post, was promoted to first place.
Yeah, so Spunkyola, the beneficiary there of that protest, fourth against first, and hopefully that clears it up, because that was another one that obviously attracted a bit of talk on social media. Nick, other matters this week that you may want to discuss?
Yes, certainly Cody. We put out a notice yesterday on Monday regarding the delays to start of races. Obviously we don't want unnecessary delays. It's important that we get coverage on Sky Racing 1 to maximise turnover for the industry, so that there's revenue and return for all industry stakeholders. So we require the cooperation and compliance of trainers and drivers to ensure that they have their horses presented at the appointed times before the race, and that when the 2-minute amber light and whistle goes off by the starter prior to the race, that the gear adjustments are completed by that time and drivers complete the circle formation behind the start.
Because there's nothing punters dislike more than the product being handballed across to Sky 2, so timely reminder there for the industry. The horse vet examination policy at race meeting, Nick, did you want to quickly talk to that point?
Yeah, obviously animal welfare is a huge consideration, and another measure we've put in place as far as veterinary examinations at race meetings, inclusive of the 12 months having not started in a race. There will be further veterinary examinations of horses that are 12 years or older, have raced 200 or more lifetime starts, and also horses that have been engaged the day prior to a race or are engaged the following day will also be subject to veterinary examination. So we require the cooperation of participants to allow for this to occur.
Sure, and we spoke last week, the new whip rules coming in May 1, whip interpretation, continuous use of the whip. Can you explain that interpretation just quickly before we wrap up?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've defined the continuous interpretation that the stewards will be abiding by. It refers to no more than 10 consecutive use of the whip at any one time in the final 200 metres, and no more than a total of 20 use of the whip in the final 200 metres. So that comes into effect this Sunday, the 1st of May, so hopefully the drivers are able to comply with that requirement.
For sure, and that just about wraps us up. I think we've gone just over time, Nick, so we've done pretty well to try and condense that into about 5 minutes.
Yeah, thanks, Cody.
Good, and tune in again next week as we continue these weekly Stewards Wrap videos. You can see them every Tuesday across the Trots media channels. Thanks for watching.